Nobody is grading this rep. Do it anyway. The room is dark. The house is quiet. No coach is watching the form, no camera is counting the reps. No one will ever know if you cut it short. That is exactly the point. This is the one moment today where the work and the witness are the same person. Most of what you call discipline only shows up when someone might notice. Take the audience away and see what's actually left. Here is what happens when the work only exists for an audience. You show up hard when the meeting is being watched. You push when the results get posted. You grind when the group chat can see the miles. And the moment nobody's checking, the standard quietly drops, because it was never really yours. It was a performance for a witness, and the witness just left the room. That's not discipline. That's a costume you put on for other people. And costumes come off the second the room is empty. The real cost isn't the missed rep this morning. It's what that missed rep teaches your mind. Every time you let the empty room talk you out of the work, you confirm to yourself that the standard was conditional all along, that it only applied when someone was checking. And the mind remembers that deal. It will offer you the same exit tomorrow, and the day after, until nobody's watching becomes the default excuse for every hard thing you were ever supposed to do. Watch how it actually plays out. The alarm goes off before the house wakes up. Nobody required this hour of you. Nobody scheduled it, nobody will ask about it, nobody would even know if you rolled over. And that silence is where most people's discipline quietly dies. Not in some dramatic failure, in a small, unwitnessed surrender that nobody will ever put on a scoreboard. The world will only ever see the finished product. It will never see the 4th mile in the dark, the set nobody spotted, the hour before sunrise that no one asked you to give. If you only do the work when it's visible, you are building a life that only works when the lights are on. And that life is fragile in a way visible effort never warns you about. Take the audience away, the promotion in front of you, the person you're trying to impress, the streak everyone's watching, and see what's left standing. If the answer is nothing, you were never actually disciplined. You were managed by an audience, and audiences are unreliable. They get distracted. They stop watching. And the day they do, so do you, unless the standard was built somewhere they could never see it. David Goggins built an entire method out of one brutal observation. Your mind quits on you long before your body actually runs out. He calls it callousing the mind. Putting yourself through discomfort on purpose, alone, with nobody watching, specifically so the next unwitnessed hard hour doesn't own you either. You don't build that callous in public. You build it in the dark, on purpose, when quitting would cost you nothing but your own word to yourself. Cameron Hanes has spent decades proving the same law from the other direction. Before dawn, before work, before anyone else is moving, he's already logging miles nobody scheduled and nobody will applaud. His whole ethic comes down to one plain fact. The people who outwork you aren't doing it for your approval. They're doing it in the dark, on their own time, and the only proof it happened is what they can do later, when it counts. And centuries before either of them, Epictetus named the mechanism underneath it. It is circumstances which show what men are, not intentions, not what you do if someone were watching. The actual unwitnessed circumstance, the cold floor, the empty gym, the silent house, is the only honest test you get. Everything you do when no one is grading it is the truest report of who you are, because it's the one report you can't stage. Notice the pattern. Goggins is talking about the mind's private negotiation with itself. Hanes is talking about the miles nobody scheduled. Epictetus is talking about circumstance as the only judge that can't be fooled. 3 different tests, 1 verdict. The version of you that shows up when it's invisible is the real one. Everything else is a performance. So here is the order for today. Find the one piece of work you would skip if you knew with total certainty that nobody would ever find out. Do that piece first before anything that has an audience. Do not tell anyone you did it. Not for credit, not for accountability, not for a post. The moment you need a witness, you've turned the test back into a performance, and you've missed the entire point of the hour. When the excuse arrives, and it will arrive dressed as reasonable as just this once, as no one would know, treat that exact moment as the circumstance Epictetus was talking about. That's not a small lapse. That's the whole verdict happening right now in real time. Ask yourself the honest question before you move on. If today ended right now, Would the unwitnessed hour tell the truth about you? Or would it expose the gap between what you show people and what you actually do? Carry that question into tonight, when the channel turns to the ledger. Marcus Aurelius, Kobe Bryant, and Henry Rollins will make you settle the account honestly. Not what you posted, not what you performed, but what you actually did. Tonight's reckoning only works if this morning's unwitnessed hour was real. Do the work no one will ever check. That's the only version of it that counts. Win before they wake.